Hello there and welcome to another video, and this video is just for one person. It's for Phuket Ward, who lives in Phuket in Thailand. He's a flat earther and he regularly leaves comments on my videos. I've tried reasoning with him, but it doesn't really work very well. And what surprises me about Phuket Ward is I've watched videos of him and he's clearly an educated, intelligent guy, so it makes it even more peculiar that he talks absolute nonsense about this. So for you, Phuket Word, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something similar that I did for Aaron Dover about a month ago. I'm going to look at your location and the information on timeanddate.com and analyze it in light of the flat earth and spherical earth model and see what we get. And unfortunately, what you get for the flat earth model is pretty disastrous. So anyway, here's the information for Phuket. So the sun rises at 68 degrees at 8 minutes past 6 in the morning, sets at 292 degrees at 6:40 p.m. at night, which means you see the sun for 12 hours 32 minutes, so about 12.5 hours. And the sun is here at the moment. Now I've placed it just north of Phuket, so it's at this is midday for Phuket where I put the sun. So Phuket's just right here, at this little sort of corner bit on the coast of Thailand. Now it says here that midday is at 12:24. So UTC is 7 hours behind Thailand, so that's 5:24 that you put in here. And that gives you the sun is 21 degrees 32 minutes north. Now that places the sun about 4,700 miles south of the North Pole. Phuket is about 5,700 miles south of the North Pole. So let's look at this on a flat earth diagram and see what we get. So according to the standard model of the flat earth, the sun's moving around the North Pole in a giant circle, which at the moment has a radius of 4,700 miles, so 4.7 thousand miles. Phuket is about 5.7 thousand miles from the North Pole. So according to time and date, the sun's rising at 68 degrees at the moment in Phuket. So let's have a look at where that would put the sun. Well, there's 68 degrees. And this line does not even intersect with the path that the sun is supposedly following. It's not possible. It's not possible that the sun could be rising at 68 degrees and the sun could be moving in this circle. It's just not possible. So let's look at it another way. Let's look at the time. So it's about 12.5 hours. Now 12.5 hours would mean that you were seeing it for a bit more than half this circle. So you do 12.5 divided by 24 times 360. So that gives you about 188 degrees. So if I put this in the middle here and mark off 94 here and 94 on the other side, that'll give us 188 degrees. There it is. Right. Around 94. Right, there we go. Right, so if you were seeing the sun for about 12.5 hours and you were in Phuket and the sun was moving in a circle around the North Pole above a flat earth, you would have to start seeing it about here and stop seeing it about there. So that means that the sun would be rising at about 38 degrees. And it would be setting at 322 degrees. So this information here does not work for this idea of the sun going around the North Pole. I mean, it's not just a little bit wrong, it's a disaster. Now, typically when you put this information to flat earthers, they start flapping about and they give you all kinds of excuses like, oh, you know, I don't advocate any one model of the flat earth, or you know, you've had 500 years to sort out all the problems with the spherical earth. We've just started looking at this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't. You can't make this work by thinking about it for longer. It doesn't work. And if you got to the point that you're making a public declaration that you support this idea, shouldn't you have at least really thought through this kind of thing and checked to see if it works? I mean, this just doesn't work. So you might say, oh, well, maybe, you know, we don't know the sun's moving around the North Pole. Well, what possible path could it be following that could work on this on a flat Earth? So if we go back round to 68 degrees here. So the sun, if you were seeing the sun rise at 68 degrees and you were in Phuket, it would have to be appearing somewhere about here. And then it ends up north of you there. And then it would sort of have to do this. So you could define a path that it would work for Phuket. The problem with that, though, is that there's a very high degree of symmetry in the world. This direction for the sun rising and setting in this time length of day, you'll get that for this day anywhere on Earth with the same latitude as Phuket. So you would have to have a path the sun could be following that would give you the same results, but for anywhere around here, for any place at the same latitude. So this circle falling around here. So if the sun was here at sunset in Phuket, then for someone here, it would be south of the location. But you would also have to somehow get the same result as you get for Phuket. So you'd have to have the sun sort of coming like this. For there, it doesn't work. Okay, there isn't a path above the flat Earth that you could choose that could make this information work. So Phuket word, if you're listening, can you confirm that this is the direction the sun rises and sets in Thailand, in Phuket, where you are at the moment, and are you getting 12 hours, 32 minutes of sunlight? And if you are, can you give some account of how that works on a flat Earth? Because I can't see it. I mean, I'm not being difficult or making stuff up here. It doesn't work. I mean, it's just really simple geometry. It just doesn't work. And like I said, even if you say, well, you know, we don't know what the sun's doing yet, it doesn't matter. There isn't a path the sun could be following that could give you this same result for anywhere around this circle that was the same distance from the centre as Phuket. Once again, it's just, how many more times does it have to be pointed out that this model doesn't work? It doesn't work. What more is there to say about it? It's a disaster. It's not just a little bit wrong. It's a complete catastrophe. Now let's consider this on the spherical Earth. So this is where the sun would be when it's rising in Phuket. So you can see here it says 608. So that'd be 11:08 p.m. the night before, and then it sets at 6:40, so that's 11:40, so it's just over Africa when it's setting in Phuket. Now what I've done is I've gone to Google Earth and I put markers where the sun rises and sets. So this one here I can show you. Get info. For sunrise. I don't know why it's gone to Phuket when I did that. Anyway. So here we go. This has changed a little bit, I'm sure it has. Right. No, wait a minute. This is the wrong one. This is sunset. Oh, God. Oh, pay attention. Right. Here it is. So sunrise, 21:29 north, 21:29 north, 167:41 west, 167:41 west, right? So that's sunrise. Sunset, which is over Africa, here it is. Right. 21:34, 21:33:60, which means 34. I don't know why they put that. 4:20 east, 4:19:60 east, same thing. So I put the sun in the right places for sunrise and sunset on a spherical Earth. So I can connect Phuket to those two places and see what we get. So there we go. Back to here. So it tells us that the sun is about 6,277 miles away. That's about right for where how far away the sun is when it's rising. And it tells us that it would be at a heading of 68 degrees. Exactly what we are told on time and date. We can do it the other way. Go to the other sun, the sun set, which is all the way over to Africa. And there it is. And it's again about 6,300 miles, and it's a heading of 292 degrees. 292 degrees. I'll do one last check. Now the sun here is at, so this is for rise, 67:41 degrees west. So that's 167.7 degrees, and it sets at 4:20 east. So that's about 4.3 east. So the difference between them is 172 degrees. Looking at the Earth from this direction, but we're going the other way, so we take that away from 180. Sorry, 360 minus that. So that gives us 188 degrees. So the difference from here all the way to where the sun rises is 188 degrees. So do 188 divided by 360 times 24, and what do you know, that gives you 12.53 hours. 12.53 hours. Now 32 minutes, that's about 32.3 minutes. So if you do 32.3 divided by 60, that gives you about 5.53.54. So yeah, about 12.53 or 0.54 hours. So all the information works out absolutely perfectly. So this information here on time and date isn't completely consistent with a spherical Earth. It doesn't work in any way, shape or form with a flat Earth. No matter what path you choose for the sun to follow above a flat Earth, you can't get it to work. Like I said, you might be able to get it work for Phuket, but you wouldn't be able to get the symmetry of any place on Earth at the same latitude as Phuket seeing the same thing. Now, when you say this to flat earthers, they always say, oh, you're just using information from timeanddate.com that's been put up by NASA or a conspiracy or something like that. Well, you know, Phuket Word, if you're watching this, you again said, like I said, you can confirm this. Is this the direction that the sun rises and sets in Phuket at the moment? Are these the right times? Can you confirm this, please? And if it is, can you give us some kind of account for how you think that works on a flat Earth?